17-10.
Cool. All right. Opening statement, Coach, and we'll take questions.
I'm glad we had a fourth quarter. I'm glad that. Now I will tell you, the third quarter seemed like it took forever. It did. I don't know that it did, but it sure seemed like it. I think with all the fouls that were called, it definitely seemed. But I'm glad there was a fourth quarter. For us to be able to shoot the ball 58% in that fourth quarter truly made a difference. And a lot of it was on the run, in transition. We went to our zone, our matchup zone defense, and I think that totally made the difference in the ball game. We were able to control their penetration, contest some of their shots, which we did not. We could not guard them in man in those first three quarters. We had gone to our matchup a few times. We were kind of scared, to be honest with you, of their three-ball shooters. But in the fourth quarter, at the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter, we said we just got to give it a shot. And I thought it was very effective. They were struggling, trying to figure it out a little bit. And we had the opportunity to be able to get layups going the other way. And Dom loves to get the ball in transition. She can make a lot of things happen. An example is in the William Carey game, she made some plays too deep in the paint and turned the ball over a few times, and we made some bad decisions. And when she stopped at the free throw line in this game and made that great pass to Malia from the free throw line, it was amazing. And she immediately looked, because she knew that she had applied some of the things that we had talked about. But I think that was the difference in the game, is that, that fourth quarter run of us making the change defensively. And, we ran an offense we've not even really practiced much in the fourth quarter. I thought the players really ran it very, very well and executed it well. Our thought was going into the game is that our mismatch would be Malia and Kelsey, that we could shove it in. Well, we tried in the first two quarters. You have to give Louisiana Monroe tremendous credit, Coach Brooks Williams. They punched our post players in the mouth. And they came after us. They doubled us from that backside. They did a tremendous job. And Malia and Kelsey, they backed down. They didn't fight back. And so we had to totally shift our game plan at halftime because our game plan wasn't working. It was kicking our butt. So we made the change, made adjustments. And again, in that late in the third quarter, and in that fourth quarter with the adjustments we made at halftime, gave us an opportunity to get that win. And again, I think the play of Dominique Davis, she held us together in the first half. Then again, I agree with what Rose had said earlier. I think it was different players. Rose scored several buckets in a row. The defensive player, Brickayla Gray, made things happen for us. Then again, Kelsey and Malia had not rebounded much at all in the first half. Second half, they rebounded the ball for us. Rose rebounded the ball for us in that second half, and we were able to get some things going the other way. And again, we ended up shooting the ball 58%. Why? Because they were at the rim.
Could you talk about just 43 shots from the free throw line, and how you were
How
able
many
to...
total fouls were called?
I don't know.
Let's see here.
Too many.
Yeah.
57.
57 fouls called. That's a lot of fouls.
Yeah.
That is a lot of fouls. 33 and 24. That's a bunch of fouls called.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it was more of a fouling contest, should I say. Mm-hmm. And both teams shoot. And we didn't shoot the ball from the free throw line very well at all. We only shot 62% from the free throw line. And so fortunately we were able to shoot a bunch to make enough to be able to win the game. But, obviously we've got to work a lot more on defense. And we spend a lot of time on defense to be able to stop fouling. Because if you go on the road and you foul that many times, you're not going to win many ball games.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it was Rose who said it, that they stopped, going with those jump shots and knew that they could drive in, that they were going to draw the foul.
Right, correct, because you was going to the free throw line. Like early in the quarters, with 8 minutes left to go in the quarter, you were able to get to the free throw line. So you just attack the basket.
You talked about early on the game plan was to get it down low and be physical, but you said they kind of got Malia and Kelsey kind of got hit in the mouth. Did you kind of expect ULM to be as physical down low with that game plan going in that you had at first?
I did, but I thought Malia and Kelsey would be beast, but they didn't. ULM punched first, and Malia and Kelsey backed out. I was real disappointed because I thought they would have a little more dog in them. And like I told them at halftime, the only player we had on our team with dog in the first half was Dominique Davis. Everybody else was playing intimidated because of the physical play of ULM. And I said, we're not going to win this ball game because they're playing harder. They're getting every loose ball. We would box out and the ball would fall right down in front of us. And rather us going to get it, ULM would come get it. I said, so if we don't find it right here, we'll get an L today. And so I just, no. I mean, I knew they were going to play hard, but I thought the two of them would play harder. And they didn't in the first half. I thought in the second half, they did a better job.
Can you talk about Dominique Davis? I mean, I guess first off, what was clicking for her? How was she able to just,
Dom is very talented. She is very talented. She is learning what her role is. She is a player that is trying to figure all that out, to be very honest with you. She is so much better. The third quarter, she didn't do as much for us because the ball was not in her hands. The ball was in Day's hands. And she's not as effective when the ball's not in her hands. We have to keep the ball in her hands because she can make plays, whether it's for herself or whether it's for her teammates. I've challenged her that she's got to have double-figure points, and she's got before conference play, she's got to get double figures in another area, whether it's assists, whether it's steals. I told her it can't be in turnovers, but she's got to have some double-doubles, and she very well can have that. And I've also challenged her. I said, you can have a triple-double. You've got to decide. I think she's extremely talented. She's just got to learn that she's got to play hard and consistent for us. She can't take plays off. And that is an everyday challenge for her. And she's just learning. She is learning. She and we meet regularly. She's in my office every day just to come by to check, see what's going on. And she wants to be great, but she has to be challenged to be great. Dom will go through life floating if she's allowed to float because that's her personality. And she wants to get to be great, but she has to be pushed to be great. But she wants to have fun along the way. And I think you saw her have fun today.
What do you envision, as you said, she's trying to figure out her role. What do you see her role being with this team?
I see her to lead this team and to be that person that can score, that can defend, because she has a very high basketball IQ. She really does. In practice, she's now getting to where she will lead in practice, where she will take responsibility for her leadership, and tell players, this is where you need to be. This is where I can't start the offense till you get here. So she'll put them in their position. When there's a downtime in practice, just a stoppage of play, she will start telling players. That's just started happening. So that's what I'm saying, where she's learning, because we've talked about that with her. You've got to take control. We can't be out there. In those huddles, you have to talk. She gets very frustrated with herself. She wants to be perfect, and we've had a lot of conversations with her. You can't get perfect. We've showed her clips of herself where she gets frustrated, like in the Southeastern Baptist game, where she missed a layup and she threw her hands down and she put her head down. No, you can't do that, because now your man's scoring on the other end. So again, she's just trying to figure all that out. But I believe that once we overcome that, I think she can be one of the best players that's wore the black and gold. She has that kind of ability. She can score. She can make decisions with the ball in her hand. She can defend. She really can do a little bit of everything. She can rebound. And she just has to be consistent with that. But that's going to be a process for her.
What attracted you to her, just in the transfer portal?
We recruited her out of high school. She came to camp here when she was in the 9th grade. And so we recruited her out of high school. And so when Shekiah Wormsley chose to leave, I kept telling my coaching staff, when Nikki Fargus left LSU, and I had no idea, because I had that Don would leave. I had no idea. I had no connection with anybody, nothing. And I would just keep telling my coaching staff as we were searching the portal, I said, Dominique Davis is who we need. Dominique Davis is who we need. Every day we'd have a recruiting meeting, and I would say, Dominique Davis is who we need. And the morning I checked, because I checked the transfer portal, Jack checked the transfer portal every morning. And when her name went in the portal, I started screaming that morning. And I picked up the phone, and I called her. I still had her number in my phone. She said, Coach McNelis, I still have your number in my phone. I said, Dominique Davis, I still have your number in my phone. And we talked. I hung up with her, and I called her dad, because I had her dad's number still on my phone. And the funny thing was, we talked, and so she had already, her parents knew she was going in the portal. This was on a Wednesday. So her parents knew all of that. Well, when she found out on Monday that she was leaving LSU, her mom told her, I think we need to go ahead and call that nice lady we met at camp at Southern Miss. And her dad said, we can't call till she goes in the portal. And so her dad called her mom and said, that lady that you were talking about Monday just called. And so we talked about it all being a God thing. And I mean, I'm telling you, I wore Dom out. I mean, and then I had all my staff calling, and I called her daddy every single day. And I just think that's why camps are so important. You establish those relationships. And I did. I just knew she was the missing piece, because she has so many things she can bring to the table.
Y'all good?
Just going back to the game, I guess. That was very deep, first off. Just going back to that fourth quarter, what finally clicked in that fourth quarter?
Well, I think we went to the matchup zone, which created havoc for them offensively. In turn, gave us opportunities to get things going offensively to the other end of the floor. I think that was the biggest difference. And again, we started running an offense we hadn't really practiced. A little bit.
Could you tell me what exactly was that offense?
The high ball screen.
Okay.
The high ball screen. We ran it a couple of times in the third quarter. And it's in what we've run in the past. We just hadn't practiced it very much.
What was the decision kind of to go to that?
Well, because we were trying to pound it inside and it wasn't working. So what we're doing is trying to get a shooter. That's when we had Rose in it. So when we put Rose in the game at the 4, we were rolling because we knew they would go with Dom and go with Kelsey to pack it, and we would leave our shooter up top. And so then the first time Rose shot the 3, and I was like, no. That's not what we're trying to do. We're going for the one dribble pull up, or you're going all the way to the rim. And then that's when she started. I don't think she missed a shot after that. But we do have multiple weapons. We do. And I think and it's early in the year. We've got to just continue to work as a staff and as a team to be able to just get some cohesiveness. And again, we had injuries. Des has been out. Dave's been out. Macy's out again. We've had Fess has been out. I mean, we just have not had enough cohesiveness to be able to put us together for a length of time. And Dom's been out with her back. That's why she had to keep coming out, was her back.
So here's an interesting statistic that I just read on the stat sheet. Neither team scored from 3 at all. And I know you just said that, we're not trying to shoot threes. Do you feel like the 3-point line is important within the strategy of this team, or do you think you're more mid-range and inside?
No, I think the 3 ball is very, very important for this team. We just could not make any, so I'm not the coach that's going to live and die by it. If it's not working, we're going to do something else. It's just like we were driving it inside, and It wasn't working, so we're not gonna do it. And that's why our zone defense, that's why, I will be honest with you, I was scared to do it because they had 3 shooters on the floor a lot at the same time, and I was scared to go to it. Well, after they wasn't hitting any, then I decided we'd stick with it. And I'm gonna tell you, I was panicking when it got to that 2 minute to go in that game. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta stay with it. I'm saying that in my mind. I gotta stay with it. No, we need to shoot the 3 ball. But if it ain't working, we're not gonna keep shooting. But that's an interesting stat. I didn't realize they did not make one. I knew we did. No, we gotta make some.
All right, thank y'all.
All right.
Thank you guys, appreciate
Thank you.
that.